Welcome to my channel. It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. I hope you're having a great day. Okay, so we have been covering the 14th season of Sister Wives. Yes, that's right. Can you believe it's been on that long, since 2010? The family that we're covering has gone through a lot in the last 10 years, and this season has been, I don't know. It's a mix of I'm not sure what they're doing this season, and is this like every other season, and can they even pretend like they still get along season. And then there's been a lot more activity on Twitter by the people in the family, which is interesting because most of them are live tweeting during the show, and the live tweeting at times can be a period of truth, like when you can no longer hide the truth. And some of the wives this past week were more animated, let's just say. Yeah, animated is a good word. Some of them were ribbing a little bit Cody and talking about how he was acting when he wasn't a super big fan of them getting along, making snow angels. And he said that he wasn't really sure how he felt overall about, plural marriage and all of that kind of stuff. And so I showed you some of the fan reactions because the next episode that's coming up on Sunday is supposed to be a doozy. And people are getting a little bit annoyed with the way that Cody has been treating Mary over the last few years. And then apparently this next episode is going to be one that involves Robin trying to step in the middle of the relationship between Cody and Mary, and then Cody trying to sway Robin to bring her over to his side. And in a family dynamic where there's so many people with so many personalities and one man that wants to have all of the attention, I can imagine that he gets irritated when people don't want to do things, and he can't let go of the fact that this one house idea did not happen. And so on Twitter this past week, it's been interesting, let's just say. We had Christine kind of speaking out and saying that, it really wasn't like he's acting like a man child, and even Robin was. But then Janelle, she was actually being a little bit more, I don't know, she wasn't really ribbing him. Can we really expect her to, though? She is someone that's totally on team plural marriage. And so she was talking more about the structure of families and actually responding to people that were tweeting to her and blocking people. Yes, that's right. Yep, that's right, Janelle. Janelle blocked me. Please unblock me, Janelle. I'm not a mean person, I swear. I only asked Janelle a question. So this week I asked Janelle if she was into the one house idea because she liked the idea of having Christine raise her kids and do all of the laundry and all the cooking and all the cleaning. And I guess that didn't sit well with her. But that was what happened, right? Do you remember on season 1, who was at home with the kids doing the cooking, the cleaning, the education, everything? Christine was. And then it allowed Janelle and Mary and Cody to work, right? It wasn't like I was trying to be snarky. It was literally like that's the truth, right? Well, I guess she didn't like that. But anyways, thankfully I have multiple Twitter accounts, so you'll have to find me again, Janelle. Anyways, she said, please remember there's no right or only way that a plural family should be. Of the plural families we know, evenly split between living all together and living separate. Both ways create functional families. So, the part of this whole scenario that sort of like irks me is that I feel like they want to normalize this. Like, there's no, like, it's normal to be in a plural marriage. It's really not. No, there's no normalizing this, Janelle. Anyways, hold on. And then she said, someone asked, why can't a woman have multiple husbands and be in a plural marriage? And she actually answered this. Now, this is the stunning admission. She said, I've met families that are structured that way. It's not our paradigm, but consenting adults should be able to choose as long as there's not abuse or fraud. Interesting. Being that polygamy consists of a lot of welfare fraud, I don't know how that would be possible, but consenting adults is different than using it guised around religion, right? So there's a thing called polyamory, which is consenting adults having multiple relationships, not necessarily all connected to the same person. So one wife could have one husband and one girlfriend, or one husband and one boyfriend, or one husband and three boyfriends, or you know what I mean? One husband could have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, and a boyfriend, you know? So yes, there is aspects that can be consenting, but I don't know that it would be in this situation. But either way, she says that it's fine as long as everyone is in a consenting relationship. Now, this is an interesting choice of words because the state of Utah is trying to reduce polygamy from a felony to an infraction, and it actually just passed the Senate with like a unanimous vote. Yeah, gross, right? Anyways, so I think the language here is very on point to what's going on in Utah right now. So she has to say it's consenting because that's the thing they're pushing, is that all of this is about consenting adults. And the people that are staunchly against it are saying there's no such thing as consent because it's all around an indoctrinated belief that women are property of men, and that's how they're brought up. And so how do you consent when you don't know anything else, right? So she then said, I will say it and say it. Now, then she addressed the potential split that she had with Cody. So remember, way back in the beginning of the relationship, Janelle actually almost left Cody. In fact, she moved out and she didn't live with the family for a couple years. On this past week's episode, they were talking about how, like, if they could or would leave. And Janelle talked openly about how there was a point in time when she did consider leaving Cody. But the hardest part for her was that she would lose everything if she left him. So she said that it was worth it to her to come back to a maybe not so great relationship as long as she could be with the kids and the family that was connected to it. So that actually makes me wonder if when she returned to the family, with the way that she put it, is if if the relationship never really recovered and she's just there for the kids and the wives. So she said, I will say it again and over, for me, the sacrifice were worth it to have the family I have now. So she actually would have lost like contact with Christine's kids, with Mary's daughter, you know, so all of these children and all of the siblings that her children have would be gone. And then Robin actually got frisky, and so she said, so let me get this straight. Cody used to like seeing us getting along, but now, because not all of us agreed on the one house idea, he doesn't like it. Little baby brother much? So it seems as though the wives have sort of unified together and are, you know, trying to get along for the show. But I was actually kind of stunned by Janelle saying that, but given the fact that there's this active legislation in Utah, it almost seems politically motivated for her to say that. So almost like she's saying, yes, it's totally fine. So if you want to do that, as long as we can have this bill pass, you can have multiple husbands, okay? Almost as a way to say, yes, we're going to accept everything, and we just want our legislators to make it so that we can live this life without having to worry about anything. I don't necessarily believe she actually thinks that's okay. I don't believe that she thinks that anyone should live that way. I think the reason she's saying that is self-serving and for her family, for Cody, so that she doesn't actually get in trouble with the law. And it's kind of disappointing because they only just passed and made this, turned polygamy into a felony only a few years ago. And now it's like it's going to go back to an infraction. And only in the state of Utah would something like this happen. Don't forget that this is actually a federal, crime. It's a felony. And then don't forget that in the Constitution of Utah, it actually says that polygamy is illegal. So they'd have to change the entire Constitution in order to completely make this something that isn't good, or that's something that is acceptable. And when I spoke to people that are with the Sound Coalition, Sound Choices Coalition, that's been working with legislators to try to help them understand why they shouldn't be making this a infraction, they've said that the argument from the legislature is that, well, when we do finally like bring these people in and arrest them, it's on charges that are well beyond what the actual charge of bigamy would be. And it makes it so people would be more willing to come forward and be okay with it. But Melissa Ellis told us in my stream last week was that it actually solidifies to the organizations that, hey, see, it's legal. So now you can't run away because you can be here and you can do this. And so because it's legal, like, you have to abide by our rules. And she feels like it's going to just reinforce sort of that patriarchy and structure. So we'll have to see what happens with the House, but it doesn't look good. Melissa Ellis said she expected it to actually pass the House and become a law. Sad. So she makes the stunning decision about marriage, but it's only because she wants to have her legal rights. So what do you guys think about this? Are you surprised that she made these statements? Are you not surprised? Are you eager to see what's coming up next on the next episode? I am. I know that. And then, if you have not watched Love is Blind, I just did a recap of the season finale. I really enjoyed it. For some reason, nobody is getting notifications for it. So make sure that you check out my upload I did about Love is Blind. And then yesterday, I actually did my own story about why I'm passionate about what I do. And I opened up about something that I have never really spoken about. And it's something that I want to do more because I think it'll help you better understand why I speak about this kind of stuff related to like the fundies and all of it. It'll just give you a better perspective to me. And it'll also help you understand like why I take a specific approach when I'm doing this kind of work. So check out my video, how I accidentally joined a CULT. That really happened. And then check out the video for the season finale of Love is Blind. If you loved the show, I think you'll like my recap. All right, you guys, I'll be back with more in a little while. Haha, funny ears to Janelle. Bye, guys.